Thank
Yeah.
you. Awesome. And thank you
Take
for
a minute
having me.
to share.
So
Thank
welcome,
you.
everyone.
Welcome, everybody. We are live.
Oop, there we go. That always needs to be muted.
Thanks for having me, guys. I know this is sort of impromptu and lots going on in the world.
Right? Thank you
Just
for
an
popping up.
understatement of the year, of the century.
Right? It's totally crazy. It's totally crazy.
Is this on Facebook or where do you guys have it going?
YouTube, actually.
Oh, cool. Okay.
YouTube. Yeah. So let me see. Did you want to send her the link since you have it right there? And
Yes.
I'll share it.
Yeah, send me.
Discord, so
There you
everyone
go.
knows that we are allowed. Somebody already shared it to Discord. That's cool.
That is awesome.
Right? All right. So these are some crazy, crazy times. And during these crazy times, it's very important to be level-headed, correct?
Yeah,
In the
that's kind of what we were talking about off camera.
Hey, that's no mistake right there. We were in off planet, 4D.
Tell you what, I mean, what day is it? Who am I? Who's my mom? Who's my daddy? I don't know. Like, it doesn't even feel like we're literally not even in the same world right now. It's just so bizarre. I went to these people have been trying to get me to go to Tai Chi for my nerves and like to have a way, outlet or whatever. I normally do like CrossFit, and I hadn't been in like 6 weeks. And these people like, go to Tai Chi, so we go, and like we're in this ginormous gymnasium and everyone's like 10 to 20 feet away from each other, but they're making you wear a mask like 20 feet away from each other working out. Like, I was like, no. I'm looking around, I'm seeing like 30, 40 people in this big gym, and all of them were like far away from each other wearing masks. And I was like, this is like not even my world. Like, how do we even get to this point? But that's another, I'll be quiet. I'm sorry. But yeah.
You know what? We, the Anons, have been waiting a long time to actually see some action beginning to happen. And now that we are, it's awakening more people, and it's the emotions are rising in a lot of people. So we were talking just before we went live, and you were expressing the importance of doing the inner work and remaining cool and calm and trusting the plan. So you wanna share again now that we're live?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I didn't say trust the plan. I was talking about trusting God, specifically a source. And because, and this is where I'm going with that, just so people can understand what I'm saying, is there can be a great opportunity to put dependence on external things, whether it's certain people that you follow that are giving you information on a regular basis and kind of guiding you. So you have like the news regular, we haven't been able to look at the real news. So all of these podcasts like yourself and other people, whether it's Twitter or social media or whatever, people have popped up and they're giving out information. And we know with censorship that 70 to 90,000 accounts were taken away in the last couple of days just on Twitter alone.
Mhm.
And that number's probably changed even more since then. So not only do we have the takeaway, but we actually have Mr. T's gone, General Flynn, all the people that we may have been relying on to see like where are we going, because we're not going to turn the TV on. So we got those people that are gone, and then we got other people who are implants or double agent type situations where they're misinforming on purpose to completely cause confusion. And how many times have you gotten the text about so-and-so is going to be on TV in 30 minutes, everybody get over there and, watch it. And you sit there for an hour and wait, and then like no one shows up. And, just a lot of distractions and different stuff. And then you got like really good people who are very credible and loving and good-hearted, who are accidentally sending out misinformation. So you got that going, where I've even had to, not had to, but did post something and then found out quickly that the person I got it from, who I've always considered very reliable and has never been wrong, actually got it from someone who was not, it was misinformation. So I had to retract it. I didn't have to, but I felt I got to retract this and, make it right, not only for the person that I posted about, but also, because people are going to find out that it's not right and it's misinformation, then you're not credible anymore, and they won't follow you at all. So integrity is essential. So we got misinformation, we got withheld information, we got disinformation on purpose, disinformation by accident, and then you got just some people who don't even know that anything's happening.
And a lot of this brings fear, worry, and doubt within someone's experience too.
Yep. So, for people who've been around for a long, long time, this is, some of it is not really a big surprise. Some people maybe had privy knowledge for the last decade or two, and then this last year got really even more awake. And then there's some people who've been awake this whole time, and really in the last even weeks got awake. And then there's some people who are still not awake at all. But to be honest, I even posted something on Facebook yesterday, and I was like, where are you? Like, you've been knowing, you just found out, there's all different levels. And I'm just like sending love and prayers to everyone, because honestly, even me, who's been in this game for a long time and knew a lot of the stuff that was happening, all the way up until the end, I say we're not in the end yet, but all the way up until, January 6th, I knew what was going to happen, but I still hoped, probably just like Mr. T, still hoped that people would do the right thing, and then of course you got some people who are saying that they're not even people, that they're clones, and that's a whole different topic. I'm just saying, for the sake of the topic at hand, wishing that, if the VP had said, oh, we're going to send this back to state, then it would be somewhat over. They would have 10 days to show evidence, and it would be quicker. And we could go, oh, there is some hope in the world. Actually, there's some good people. And, oh, America's going to look at evidence, and we're actually going to have something fair and just. Oh my God, is that really happening? Because it's not what's been happening. But instead, we got the total, worst case scenario over and over, and people are having to see everybody. And I tried to tell people that I knew what was going to happen on the 6th. I did, but I didn't want it to happen. I wanted to be wrong. I myself was like, I hope I'm wrong, but this is what I know. And some of that was based on scalar waves, because we had him tested months ago and even just a little bit ago, and he did not score well. So, when people can be infiltrated and or bot, or could be AI possibilities where they're just like somebody's hitting a button and making people do whatever they want and can be controlled, then you got a lot of different scenarios. I don't know which one of them are. It could be all of them, a little bit of all of them. But the point is, this is where we are now. And I think some people are freaking out. They're upset. They're depressed. They feel betrayed by, and then when Mr. T has not been able to say what he wants to say, or that his team hasn't been on the forefront like they have up until now, I don't know about you, but I've been waking up the last few days of just feeling like, where do I go? Who can I see? Because you want to get it from the horse's mouth, right? And then even when he was on today, or just a few snippets of whatever, you're waiting to see what he's going to say. And it's like not even the thing that you thought that he was going to say. Because you're like, can we talk about the thing that's the big elephant in the room here instead of like the wall? You know, like we know the walls thing and the coyotes and, you know, the drugs and stuff. And it's like, but hello, but he can't. That's not something that he can, you know, until it's time. That's not something that he can go into. So I know this is a long thing, but my point is, even myself, I've had to really take discipline, which comes from the word disciple. But whatever your belief system is, I'm just saying there are people who lived who were disciples, however you want to look at that. And it takes discipline in your mind to not absolutely lose your entire shit everywhere. And you gotta, you know, you don't got to, but you get to keep your peace and look inward and go, you know what? Let me make sure that my connection to source code and truth and love is coming from here and not dependent on anything outside, because we have the technology in ourselves. We can transport, we can heal, we can remote view, we can bilocate, you know, we can get instant answers just by asking. You know, go to bed and say, God, or God, give me a dream, give me a sign, do something. You know, we can get that when we are calm. But if you are in high beta, fight or flight, you're not only is your whole nervous system sending out a message of dissonance into the biofield, but then nothing. So whatever goes into the biofield is what you get. So if you are calm and easy and your love and your peace, guess what? You will attract and get patterns of all of those things to you, and you'll be able to receive through the antenna that you already are. But if you're just like, and you're too busy and you don't even take time to just sit and hear and rest and be, then we won't get the information and the intel that we can actually get direct without having to go to a Twitter or a person or be confused or get misinformation. Or when you do get misinformation, you can go, that's not true. And you just know, and you can't even like prove it, but you know. And many, you do this, you guys do this. You know what I'm talking about. It just takes, sometimes I am a strong encourager of research, and you guys are doing that too. And just for everybody who's on here, it's good to be informed and to get evidence and to have knowledge on your own, to do your own research. Don't just listen to what anyone says. Go back and look for yourself and find it so you can get that validation. And also, sometimes you may not get it. You might not get the validation. And so you have to practice and just really find your peace to be able to hear and to know what you need to do, because we're getting to a point, it's going to get worse before it gets better, guys. And you know, you guys know that. I'm talking to your people who may or may not know that. If there's someone listening, I wish that I could sit here and go, oh, this is going to happen at 5 o'clock and everything's going to be better from now on, and there isn't going to be any more problems with overseas stuff or this or that or this or that. But we got a little bit of a ride here, and it's time to really practice and sit down. So, you know, eating good is great. Getting in nutrition, supplements, grounding, getting into nature, go get informed, you know, go get informed. I'm not anti getting informed, but there's also a time to pull away and just integrate. So it's like, I got information. Now let me take that information and pull back, withdraw a little bit. Let me integrate and see what's good and bad. And
that's huge, right?
That is huge.
Yep, you got to sift through that. Otherwise, you know,
if we don't make that choice to integrate, then our bodies will help us to do that. And that can look like you don't feel well.
Detoxing symptoms.
You're exhausted. Your body just naturally puts you in that state to integrate if we don't do that ourselves.
Yep.
I like to teach every 2 steps forward, take 1 step back. That's an integrating process. So you look at 2 posts, you stop, you think, you let it process, and then you move forward.
Yeah. And when you get, you know, better at it and you've had more practice, and maybe it'll be faster and more instantaneous, where you're just like, nope, you know. but I still like that private time alone to be able to even hear yourself think, you know, especially with so much, we're just inundated with information. I mean, I'm not even talking about social media. I'm talking about stimuli. I mean, before social media, we were getting like 35,000 bits of stimuli per second, you know, gravity, grocery lists, temperature. You know, we're not down here going, heart, will you please beat? Like, we're doing all of this automatically, and we're not even realize what we're taking in on a because we're just these ginormous antennas that are receiving but also putting out. And so now that we have access to these things and iPhones and computers, then, you know, I'm getting emails and Facebooks and Twitters and comments and Instagram and YouTubes, and, you know, there's so much access to everybody. So that means there's also opportunity to have to answer all of that and read all of that. And what did somebody post? And then go out and look at other, you know, there's just so much. And so we could go crazy with the information. Or
Yesterday, I felt overwhelmed. I woke up and just so much information came at me like a Mack truck. It was just, and my body wanted to withdraw and integrate all day yesterday. So it was a lot. It was a lot, but things are happening. It's crazy.
I love your kitty cat.
Aw.
Look, is mine here? Oh no, I have cats in all of my videos and all my shows. Every show I got one or two cats, so that's cool.
Yeah, I see. We see them. We're like, oh, kitty.
It was sitting on the back of your chair a little while ago.
They probably went to go eat or something.
So, what do you suggest that everyone does to stay calm through all of everything that's happening with all the information that's coming in and all the disinformation? What do you suggest that we do to be able to calm ourselves, to be in that calm state of receiving?
Meditation's a great idea. Taking that little bit in the morning and throughout the day to just get alone, even if you got to hide in the bathroom for a minute, you know, get off technology for bits of time. You know, I mean, if that's your job and, you know, you got to sit behind a desk or whatever, I get that there's certain times, but, you know, maybe turn off some of the notifications. I literally took email off my phone in 2015. I don't even have email. So I have email on my desktop, but I don't even check it. And people say, can I get your email? I'm like, no, like you can have it, but I don't check it. So, you know, less ways for people to get all the notifications. Turn off the notifications. You know, there's certain people that, you know, you can go to. If you want to go to them, then go to them, but don't let this bombard, because, you know, we're conditioned like Pavlov's dog is like that. You hear that ding and you're like, oh, you know, it's like let me go see what that is or whatever. Oh, I just scratched my hand. That's not the word. That's not the thing. That's private joke. Sorry, guys. Getting it outside, breathing fresh air, getting actual sunshine with vitamin D through the sky, you know, taking Epsom salt baths daily if you can, infrared sauna if you have access. I mean, not everybody has that, but some essential oils. Definitely getting off of sugar. If you really want to connect with intuition on a high level, no sugar and carbs. You know, they even would take people out of the programs that were eating carbs and sugar because they were no good for people who were in any kind of the MyLab programs. Like, the minute they got sugar, that would just mess up the brain chemistry, and they were worthless for remote viewing or any kind of downloads.
That's important.
Yeah. Really? Yes. Oh my God. Definitely any type of substances, which, you know, this is most of the time people are looking for crutches to deal and escape from all of this. So as a doctor, I'm seeing a lot of people who, you know, are drinking more or smoking more or doing other things, you know, and it's like, that is a big door for entities and confusion. And if there's any nanotechnology or AI and you're doing that too, there's so much more control that they can have with you. So not a good thing to entertain any of that, although I could see why someone would need to escape or try to sleep or, dull down, whatever. That is not the best answer, but yeah, taking your socks and shoes off if you're not in the snow. I mean, maybe if you can handle the snow, do the snow too. But some people, I mean, I'm in Louisiana, we don't have snow here. I guess we do up north. 2 hours, we got snow. 2 hours north of me in Louisiana, we got snow last night, which I think is also weather control stuff. They're messing with us, but
Yeah.
getting in the grass or the sand or the dirt or the beach with your actual skin, if it's your hand or your foot or something, trees, there's a lot of code and energy to life, animals too. Hug an animal, hug a person, cortisol, it really does. It's scientifically proven to help with frequency and cortisol levels and oxytocin and dopamine and serotonin levels. Exercise, brisk walks or strength training, things like that, make a habit and a practice of some of these things just daily, if not daily, at least weekly. I hope that helps. I'm trying to think.
I bet it really does. Well, we use this for our technology. It's called the Tesla what? It's
Like a Tesla plate.
yeah, it's a Tesla plate.
So basically sugar will cause your was it white blood cells to clump, right? And so does electronics. And what this does is it protects our bodies so that the white blood cells don't clump, and it keeps it nice and flowy.
Awesome. Yeah,
Now,
we have our version too. I haven't heard of that one before. What's the name of that one?
It's like a Tesla plate.
I
It's
just
Tesla technology.
got it off of Amazon.
Yeah, we have our stuff on our phones and our Wi-Fi and smart meters, you guys. That's a biggie.
Oh yeah.
We had our smart meters removed, but there are neighbors who have smart meters.
So
yeah.
and it's good to have it off your house. Unfortunately, they do travel pretty far around. So we have like a cage over ours, and I have lots of different things for protection because mine was literally behind my bed of my headboard.
Oh,
On an outside wall. I didn't know it until I got tested in there. The doctor was like, "What is going on with the radiation between 10 o'clock at night and 7 in the morning?" And I was like, "Radiation?" And he was like, "Do you sleep with your phone? Do you, I was like, no. And then like 3 days later, our electricity went out and the guys had to come because they thought there was something in the line. And they were like, "Where's your smart meter?" I'm like, "I don't even know." And he found it, and lo and behold, literally, it's like synchronicity just happened to show me that this is literally where I sleep, right behind where I sleep. And
Dang.
so we caged up that thing, and I got stuff I have some special plugins that are along the wall, and yeah.
Let me share something. I was really surprised. I hadn't taken store-bought vitamins in a while, and I used to struggle with yeast infections. And the yeast doesn't have to be just where the female parts are; it could be all over the body. And I had it all over the body. You could smell it, especially when I sweat. And I got rid of it. But then I was thinking, oh, I need to have some vitamins. I'll just grab some of these vitamins that I bought at the store. And then I got the yeast again.
Yep.
And so I went to grab the vitamins this one day, and my spirit team said, "No, that's where you got the yeast." And I thought, oh my God. So I threw it out. And I've been cleaning my body up. And then the whisperers came, and they're like, "That's not real. That's not true. That is not correct information that you got." And it begins to settle this little doubt that, you begin to think about. Well, last night I was watching some guy who decodes Simpsons. And there were blocks that Lisa had on the floor, and he decoded it, and it said,
Turpentine.
not that one. It
Oh.
said tapeworms. And what he decoded from that was that parasites and tapeworms were put in McDonald's food. And then when I was in the shower today, my spirit team connected it together and it said, look at the vitamins, look at the McDonald's. They've done it to everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. So now there's no more doubt. I mean, I can just shush those things up and know where that information came from. But as we're talking about cleaning our bodies up, I mean, we've got to be careful that we're listening to our inner wisdom and the spirit guides about what we take and what we don't take.
Well, and two things. Number one, most of the supplements that you can get over the counter at some of these big box places are all from CHINA. And we know that that isn't anything that's going to be helpful, because they're doing a lot in the supplements and there's a lot of nanotech in the supplements from this particular country that has already used bioweapons on us with other things. So I don't buy anything that I'm going to take inside to eat. I have a company that I work with that I know is all made here, and there's nothing that's outsourced over there. So I'm really careful about that. But the other thing is parasites, fungus, mold, any kind of pathogens, when they're in the body, it actually sends an energetic code out that you are a victim, because they're basically sucking off of you, eating off of you, and a fungus too is alive. And so if you have all of that within, then you're going to for sure have people and other things happen that will submit to that lowest sound, because you only get what you are. And the biofield is called bio because it's dual. It both radiates out, but it also magnetizes back in. And so if you are dealing with any of that on a physical level, that goes out and it also comes back. And so you'll start attracting people who want to take advantage of you, cancel, clear, or harm you, or whatever. And you could be like, oh my God, here's me, and I'm just so nice and loyal, and I do all these things. And then you're like, why does this keep happening? And like, the subconscious or the signature code, even of the DNA, the organs, everything in our body, it all sends out signals. We're sending out signals all the time. Even like a liver, you could have most of the things in the liver are issues with bitterness or hate or whatever. So if you haven't done a liver cleanse in a while, the liver will actually store so much, and it will send out like hate signals and bitterness or unforgiveness or resentment, which is resent anger. And so then you start attracting people who are like pissed off all the time, or angry, or bitter or unforgiving, and you're just like, why is this happening? But it's you, it's us. We're sending out the signals, and everyone can only submit to our lowest denominator. So we got to keep our frequency up and our body clear to the highest vibration, the highest, sharpest thing, because when we are clear, we will attract and gain loving situations, loving people. So that wasn't even where we were talking about with the stuff going on today, but just a little side thing. Sorry about that.
That's
Well,
important.
That is very important, because that also attracts the certain information that you look at too.
True. And
it's
gives
not
you the
just-
resonance to even identify.
Because they're like, oh, look at this information. I'm going to believe it now because I'm resonating with it.
Yeah.
But it's really not you.
And
that is such a great point, because parasites, fungus, mold is very chaotic. It's like if you had 100 people living in your small apartment, it's like, how do you even hear what's going on? Because they all have their own frequency and sound, and it's all within you. So you're talking about the whispers. I mean, some of it could actually just be within you creating that, because there's so much activity going on that you can't even really connect to real truth, because it's like so chaotic. Cancel.
Yeah.
So when we can clear all that and just have this beautiful flow of love, energy, and truth that's, just freely going through a body that's, we're all one. So we have that version, we got the cells, we got our own body, then we got the collective, and then we got the earth. So it just keeps on going. It's the more we work on us,
The layers you were talking
the
about.
more that we're helping everybody else too.
Mhm.
It's all an inside job. When we focus on us, I was going to say we don't, we get to focus on us. We get to seek ye first the kingdom. Where's the kingdom? Inside. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and then all these things will be added unto you. But sometimes there's those things that we got to be selfish and put the oxygen mask on first. And, especially anyone in service, whether you're a doctor or a nurse or a teacher or anyone that's always helping, a mom, a dad, we have this tendency to be like, well, I got to do all this for everybody else. And we forget about like taking care of this.
If you can't help yourself, you can't help those around you.
Yes.
Well, that was a huge bomb that was just laid. My goodness. And how can we heal if we're not aware of where the attacks or the whispers are coming from?
The liver,
That's
the
incredible.
kidneys,
Incredible.
your internal intestines.
You're right. And I knew better. I've done a lot of study on all of this, but it's one of those times when you just diverge from the path. You just serve not being careful. You don't have your armor on. I didn't have my armor on, and I just diverged from the path with that. But what a great learning experience.
Oh yeah.
It brought all of this information, and it brought this conversation.
So you brought something to light with us, and we brought something to light with you. And on that note, we know that you are very busy at this time. So I think that we should end this here.
Awesome. We're great. I don't know if you guys will know, censoring has happened and Twitter accounts and what have you has gone down, and we don't even know like where any of us are. So if you guys want to follow me or find me, please go to swiftfire.org. It's swiftfire.org. I actually have a newsletter.
Say it again, but slowly.
Swift, as in quick, swift, fast, fire, swiftfire.org.
Perfect.
And you can go get the newsletter there, and then I will be able to tell you, at least be able to keep up and go, this is where I am, and these are the people that are on my show, and this is what's happening. And otherwise, I'm at Dr. Sharnael pretty much everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of that too. But we know that is
right. Right. So what I'm going to do, if that's okay, is grab some of your info from your other videos and put it in the description of our video so that people can click onto your links if they want to connect with you and do all of that kind of good stuff. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
And then we'll upload this to YouTube too, to protect the information in case it comes off. But you've recorded it, I've recorded it. If it disappears, we'll upload it again.
awesome. All right. Well, I sure appreciate you guys. Thanks for reaching out, and thanks for everything you guys are doing for humanity.
It was an honor having you on our show for the first time too.
I know, and let's do it again. This was awesome.
Awesome. All right. Bless you guys.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.